Hey Hardin County, it's Michelle Labus, and I'm going to give you an update with the December 24th Hardin County Commissioners meeting. Let's see, they approved the minutes. JFS had some net resignations. They reallocated some money. They had a pay increase for the Soil and Water Department. They put a hold on the annual appropriation review. They talked about open-ended leases. The veterans is having an issue with the van that they need to work out. And then they talked about AAA coverage outside of the county. They didn't think that they had coverage there. So just kind of some normal stuff. Jake McFadden came in and talked about the fair building, the new building out at the fair update. So they paid, I think it was $20,000 to get a proposal from the WDC group. So they went through that process, and the packet that they handed the commissioners was like this thick, and handed one to each of them, which I know they're not going to read. I mean, they might flip through it, but that's a lot of information to hand out to them when they very clearly could have just emailed it and given them more of a summary. But that's, it definitely looks impressive to throw a big ream of paper on everybody's desk. So whatever. They so I mean, I'm just saying, if that's the whole project proposal from WDC, I'm not sure. What all was in that packet. So interestingly enough, you could see a little bit of the plans. Of course, they didn't hand out plans to the public that were there, but you could see that when I went to the Fair Board meeting, they were talking about 3 buildings, right? Two this way and 1 this way with offices on it. Well, the WDC group came back and they have 1 big barn that they're going to do. And I'm not sure, like I said, I couldn't see that maybe they have offices off the back of that somehow, but it would kind of be centered up on that hill there at the fairgrounds type of thing. And they're going to be able to build it in phases. So you can build one section and then another section to kind of spread out the cost and still make it a usable facility as soon as possible. So they got bids for the things. So basically what they're looking at, the total is $915,386, which the fair has. Okay, so they got $500,000 from the ARPA money. It's my understanding that they already used $50,000 of it, and so they were down to $450,000 of usable money. So now they're coming and asking for $915,000, understanding that they're going to have to, they won't get all of that, but that's kind of the big picture plan. So they want to purchase livestock pens from H.W. Hutchison for $82,000. Smaller pens for $19,000 for like hogs and sheep. There's going to be stone, geotechnical, PSI professionals group come in to do soil boring for $7,000, surveying for $48,000, tile work for the Burnison ditch over to the west side, drainage. Then they want to also get aluminum bleachers, which 4 of them, each one costs $25,000. They want 4 of them, of course, $100,000 for that. So let's see. I think that's the basic rundown. In the meeting notes that they printed up, they've got it typed up a little bit better than my notes. But basically, what I can gather is that with the 400. So later on, later on they did approve like $632,000, which is like $180,000 over what the fair had available, right? So they got their 450,000 plus the 180 to cover this first portion. And then you remember they also got promised $500,000 next year for the continuation of this building. So basically what you're going to end up with from all this is you're going to end up with hog pens and bleachers and and drainage, right? So they're going to do drainage from one side of the fair all the way over to the other side of the fair, which is infrastructure, right? We can do infrastructure for the fair, but not infrastructure for our villages and our citizens. So, you know, the bulk of this money is going to be all underground, trying to get the drainage off of the fair. And then you're going to end up with, you know, some equipment, because you have to use this money, this ARPA money, you have to have it pre-allocated by the end of the 2024. So you couldn't just hold this money. They had to say they're going to use it for bleachers, they're going to use it for the hog pens. And so you kind of get that stuff and you put it aside. Now, what they talked about is that this building will be used for storage, one for the pens and the bleachers and the equipment that they need to buy will be some of the use of this building. And they're still going to be able to put campers, RV campers in this building. I did hear from somebody else, some other thing they talked about using it for year-round events. Maybe that was in the meeting minutes from the commissioners. I did not hear them talk about that when I was actually in the meeting. It was mainly for storage space that they were going to use it, but the idea still is out there that it's going to be able to be used year-round. So how, you know, is it going to be big enough to have all the storage and year-round with all the campers in it? I don't know. We'll have to see that when it happens. And I don't know how big they're going to make it, like how many phases they're going to build it in when it's all said and done, like what the final cost to build that building is. So anyways, the equipment so they basically got everything that they wanted in their plan outside of their equipment. So they're going to have to they still want to buy a wheel loader, a skid loader, and a tractor and a mower to use out there at the fairgrounds. So anyways, we're going to hold out and see what more information we get from the fair board on this new building. But it looks like with the $632,000 from the ARPA money and then the $500,000 from the general fund in 2025 and the $500,000 from John Cross, looks like we're going to get a building out at the fair. So good things are on the horizon. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.